Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for June 16th. We are looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair did close lower today. It is moving sideways for the most part. Definitely has a bias to the downside. Definitely looking for this pair to move potentially as high as 98.61, possibly as low as 95.33. Look for some resistance around 97.09 and look for some support around 96.00. Now, switching to the Euro-USD pair, this particular pair closed up for this session. It's moving sideways, biased is still somewhat to the downside. We're looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 140.33, possibly as low as 136.50. Look for some resistance around 138.96 and look for some support around 137.47. Switching to the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair closed up during this session, moving sideways, biased sideways. Look for this pair to move potentially as high as 166.34, possibly as low as 160.83. Look for some resistance around 164.45 and look for some support around 163.20. Now, switching over to the US Swiss, this particular pair closed down for this session. Pairs moving sideways, bias sideways. Look for some resistance at around the 10950 mark and look for some support around 10820. Now, moving ahead, we have the pound releasing their jobless claims change for May at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Consensus is that things have increased from 57.1K to 60K, which would be negative news for the pound. The U.S. dollar has their CPI for May being released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus is things have moved lower from negative 0.7% to negative 0.9%. As far as what I'm looking at during this next session, we've got two potential. We have an overextended bar that was created during this past session. We're pretty much breaking the low right now, a little bit below it. Look for this particular session to move lower. We could definitely hit this area of support over this next session, which would be roughly about 60 pips or so. I know that's not a huge move, but nonetheless, if this pair doesn't reverse, that's what we should see. Switching to the US Canadian dollar pair, this particular pair formed an inside bar during this last session and has the potential to move higher. If you notice, we have, if it breaks out to the upside, we have a potential support, previous support that could become new resistance. Basically at this session's low and this session's low, draw your horizontal line over, and that's what you can look to get out of that particular move. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.